Cats are nocturnal creatures. They're mostly active at night when we're sleeping, and they're also what's called crepuscular, which means they usually hunt around dusk and dawn. But as pets, cats usually change their sleeping habits to fit around their human schedule because they want to spend more time with their humans during waking hours, snuggling you, doing stuff with you, watching you do things. So our cats usually do sleep most of the night, and usually they aren't eating while we're sleeping. We traditionally have fed Pippa during times that we eat, so breakfast, lunch, and dinner. When we brought Tilly home and tried to feed her on the same schedule, we noticed she was constantly begging for more food. Like, she was always hungry, which we weren't total strangers to since Pippa was always hungry too. But then we found out that Tilly was pregnant, and so that's why she was always so hungry. We talked to the vet about that, and she said it's best to leave food out for Tilly all day long. The adoption agency also said the same thing. They also said that cats are more grazers, so they'll go back for bites of food often. But if you listen to people like Jackson Galaxy, he would say that you should not leave food out and that you should feed cats meals on a regular basis. But the adoption agency does have a lot of cats under their care. But with Tilly being pregnant, she's eating for 5, so she needs to eat a lot. So we've decided to just go ahead and leave hard food out all the time and then feed regular meals of wet food a couple times a day. The blowback for free feeding is that while we're helping Tilly, we've noticed that our already overweight cat, Pippa, has gained just as much during this final trimester of Tilly's pregnancy. She is gaining some sympathy weight, if you will. And while a lot of what you see of Pippa's tummy is fur, so she looks a lot bigger than she actually is, she has definitely gained an extra pound or 2 due to all of the free feeding. You don't want them to be overweight. It affects their jumping and their movement, so you definitely don't want them to be too overweight. And yes, those are paper plates they're eating from. So we stopped using pet bowls because of Pippa's whiskers, which we started finding around the house. And so we started to become concerned. The whiskers on a cat are actually very sensitive. Whiskers can get stressed out from the constant exposure to the sides of the bowl while eating. This doesn't happen with all cats, but it did with Pippa. So we had to switch to wider, flatter plates. And right now, that's paper plates. But that's because we haven't gotten more pet plates yet. And we did get these very nice elevated plates, but those are being used for dry food, which we leave out all day. The elevated plates are also nice because it helps align the cat's esophagus while they're eating, which helped Pippa because when she overate previously, she would throw up right after eating. And this happened a lot because Pippa likes to overeat. But ever since we started using these elevated plates, we've noticed that she has stopped throwing up, so definitely a good investment there. We're also not huge fans of free feeding for several reasons, including that both Tilly and Pippa like to be served, because who doesn't? So even if we're leaving out the dry food all day long, there's constantly food in the bowl, they will still wait for us to put more food in the bowl before they start eating. They want us to serve them. It's part of our routine. It's part of something we do together. So they really enjoy us serving them their meals. So even though there's food out all day, they'll wait until we give them more. But also, another thing is that it's hard to motivate a cat to do something like come in from the garage when she sneaks out if she's always full, if there's no incentive to come in for a treat. So this is another reason why we do not like the free feeding. Pippa has an eating problem that we just can't solve right now with Tilly being pregnant. But after that, we'll definitely have to put this little chonker on a small diet to bring her weight back down, just until it's more of a healthy level. We don't care if she's got a little meat on her bones. But it's not gonna be super fun since Pippa loves eating. But don't we all?
What?
That's all for today. No kitten news yet, but stay tuned. They're coming. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks.